Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to study accruals and prepayments. We will look at four terms: accrued expenses, accrued incomes, prepaid expenses and prepaid incomes. We will see what are the meaning of these terms, what are the examples and how the accounting entries are made. Alright, and additionally, I'm going to tell you how to treat opening and closing balances, because generally when the question comes in the exam, we are given the opening accruals, closing accruals, opening prepayments, closing prepayments like this. All right, so we should know when we have to add, when we have to subtract. So we will see everything that how we have to deal with it. All right, so let's get started. The first term is accrued expenses. So see, accrued expenses means the expenses which we have incurred in the current accounting period, but we have not yet paid them. Okay, so just imagine that you are standing in the month of March. Okay, and you had to pay wages worth $10,000 for the month of March, but you have not yet paid these expenses. All right, and now you have come to the month of April, and in the month of April you pay this 10,000. All right, the expense related to the month of March, but it was paid in the month of April. So we will see that this wages of $10,000 is our accrued expense. All right, although we have paid it in the month of April, but still we will record it in the month of March, because this 10,000 related to the month of March only. Okay, we have just paid it in the month of April, but it does not relate to the month of April. Okay, so we will record in the March accounts. All right, so what is the nature of this accrued expense? So see, this is a headache for us. Okay, it is a burden on our shoulders that we have to pay certain amount in the future. Okay, so this would be our liability, and liabilities have a credit balance. I hope you have understood the logic why it is a liability, because it is a headache for us that we have to pay this amount in the future. We have to pay this $10,000 in the futures to our workers. All right, so this is a liability for us. This would be a current liability. All right, so the expenses which we have incurred but not yet paid are our accrued expenses. So see, what would be the accounting entry? This is an expense. This wages of $10,000 is an expense. So expenses have a debit balance. So we will debit it and it will go into profit and loss account. And the accrued expenses, as I told you, it is a liability, and liabilities have a credit balance. So I will credit accrued expenses and it will go into balance sheet on the liability side, because it is a liability. All right, so I hope you have understood with the help of this example, that what are the accrued expenses and how do we deal them. They are a liability for us. Okay, moving forward, accrued income. These are the incomes which we have earned but we have not yet received. Suppose that you worked for some person. Okay, you worked in an institute. Let's suppose you taught there, and for the month of March you should have received $5,000 for teaching over there, but you received this amount in the month of April. Okay, since this amount relates to the month of March, so it would be recorded in the month of March only. Okay, we have just received it in April, but it relates to which month? It relates to March. So this would be our accrued income, because we have earned this income but we have not yet received it. All right, so it would be an asset. Okay, because we have a right to receive, we have worked for them, so they have to pay to us. So accrued income is an asset for the company. Okay, so example would be interest of rupees 5,000 earned up to 31st March but received in April. So similar example I have given you over here of the institute coaching that you have taught somewhere. So you had to receive 5,000 for the month of March, but you actually received in the month of April. Okay, so this would be your accrued income, and accrued income are our assets, and assets have a debit balance. So let's see how our entry would be made. We will debit accrued income, because I just told you that accrued income is an asset and it will go on in the balance sheet on the asset side. And incomes have a credit balance, so we will credit it. Okay, the golden rule is, I'll write here the golden rule. The golden rule says debit all the expenses and losses, credit all the incomes and gains. Okay, this is our accounting rule, and you have to learn this. Okay, so income is our Income has a credit balance, so I credited here income. And accrued income is an asset because we have the right to receive it, so that's why we debit it over here. All right, so you should know how the accounting entry is made and where the effect goes. Okay, the effect of accrued income goes in balance sheet and the effect of income goes into profit and loss account. All right, moving forward to the third term, it is prepaid expenses. See, as the term suggests, these are the expenses which we have paid in advance. All right, I have already paid it. So, don't you think that if I've already paid something, so it should be an asset for me? Because I have not yet received the benefits. Okay, I will receive the benefits in future, but I've already paid for it. So, it should be my asset. Expenses that have been paid in advance for a future accounting period. So that are my prepaid expenses. I have paid them beforehand only. Okay, so these are my asset. For example, rent of rupees 12,000 paid in March for the month of April. Okay, so we had to pay 12,000 rupees, 12,000 rent for the month of April, but we already paid it in the month of March. Okay, this 12,000 was paid in the month of March. So where should we record it? We should record it in the month of April because this amount relates to the month of April. It doesn't matter when we have received the cash. Although we have received the cash, oh sorry, we have paid the cash in the month of March, but still we will record it in the month of April because this 12,000 rent expense relates to the month of April only. Okay. So see, our entire books in the accounts are prepared on this basis only, which is accrual basis. And we do not prepare it on the cash basis. Accrual basis say that record the transaction whenever whenever a transaction happens, record it. Okay, it doesn't matter when you have received the cash or when you have paid the cash. It doesn't matter. If I have incurred a transaction today, record it then and there only. Suppose I made a sales. Okay, I made a sales in the month of March. So I will record this sales in the month of March only. I may receive this amount in the month of say June. I may receive in the month of June amount related to these sales. Okay, but I will record this transaction in the month of March only because I prepare my books on the basis of accrual. Okay, my books are not prepared on the basis of cash basis. Cash basis say that record the transaction when you receive cash or when you pay cash. Okay, then according to this basis, the entry should have been recorded in the month of June. But I prepare my books according to accrual basis, and accrual basis say that record the transaction whenever it happens. So it happened in the month of March, so I will record it in the month of March. All right, so the same concept applies here also. Just a second. So the same concept applies here that we have already paid an expense in the month of March, but since it was related to the month of April, so we will record it in the month of April only. Okay, this is the advance rent which we have paid. So it is our asset. Now let's see how this entry is made. So we will debit prepaid expenses because it is an asset and it will go into balance sheet, and we will credit expenses. Why did we credit expenses? We credited expenses because we removed the effect. This expense was not related to the month of March, right? So we should not record it in the month of March, right? So that's why I credited here. Originally, expenses have a debit balance. So if I have to remove, if I have to cancel, if I have to cancel this amount, I will credit it. Okay, debit is the original. Originally we debit it, but in order to cancel it, I will do the opposite, that is credit. All right. So in order to remove this effect of 12,000 from the month of March, I will credit the expense. All right. Moving forward to prepaid income, or the better word which I can use here is pre-received income, or I can say it unearned income. So I received some amount, but I have not yet completed the performance obligation. So let's take an example that I teach students. All right, and I take advance fee from them. That every month you have to pay me say $50. Okay, $50 you have to pay me every month, and you will pay this at the start of the month. Okay, it means you will pay me advance. So see, I have received the money, but I have not yet done the service. All right, I have to teach the students. I am yet to teach the students. So this is my liability because I have received the amount, but service is yet to be provided. So we receive this income for a future period. For example, tuition fee for of $15,000 received in March for April classes. I had to provide classes for the month of April, but I received this income in the month of March. So this is my unearned income. I have not yet earned this income. When will I earn this income? I will earn it when I teach the students. All right. So see, prepaid income is again my liability because there's a headache, there's a burden on my shoulders that I have to teach the students. I have collected money from them, but I have to teach them. Okay, so this would be a liability for me since it is a headache for me. So liabilities have a credit balance. So I will write here credit prepaid income. And now see, we will debit here income. Why did we debit it? Because see, in the month of March, I received this rupees 15,000. But this 15,000 relates to the month of April. So I should remove the effect of this rupees 15,000 from the month of March. Since this is an income and incomes have credit balance. So in order to remove it, I will debit it now. Okay, because I cannot show it here in the month of March because it relates to the month of April. So I will show it in the month of April only. All right. So these were the 4 terms. See, I have made a summary table as well. Accrued expenses relates to the current period, but we have not yet paid them. So it is a liability because expenses are due. We have to pay them. Example is wages due, but not yet paid. Workers have worked for me. I have to pay them wages, but I have not yet paid. Okay, so it could be a liability for me. Then accrued income which we have earned, but we have not yet received. Since we have worked for an organization, so it is an asset for us. It is an income receivable. For example, interest earned but not yet received. We generally earn interest, but we receive it after the end of the month. In the next month, we receive it. All right. Then we have prepaid expenses, the expenses which we have paid in advance. Since I have paid in advance, but I will receive future benefits, so it would be an asset. For example, rent paid for the next period. Then comes prepaid income, the income, or I can say pre-received income, or unearned income. Okay, but you will generally see this term prepaid income, so do not get confused. This prepaid income means pre-received income, okay, or unearned income. So I have yet to perform my obligation. Okay, I have to give the services, so it would be a liability. It is received in advance. I have to complete the obligation to provide services. For example, fee received for next year. Okay, I have received fee for future months, but I have not yet taught. So it would be a liability for me since it is a headache for me, right? Now, a very important topic which we have to cover is opening and closing accruals. If you check your exam kit, you will find that in the question, you are given the total expenses, and then they'll give you something like opening, rent, closing rental expenses, okay, or they might give you opening rental income, closing rental income. So we have to learn how to adjust it. If you see the exam kit solutions, you will see that they have made a T-shape account. Okay, then they have made some adjustments here, 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 here. But you should know the logic behind it. Why do we debit something and why do we credit something? So I'll try to explain you in the easiest manner. How do we deal with it? Okay. Just a second. First, let's read it from here. When preparing account, adjustments are made for both opening balances and closing balances. Opening balances means we have brought forward these expenses from previous year. Okay, we have adjusted our previous year's account for these adjustments, but we have to adjust our current year for these opening balances. And closing balances belongs to the current year and we carry forward it to the next year. Now suppose, just a second. Yeah, let's see. This is our timeline. Okay, this entire, this is, let's say, 1 April 20x1. Then this is end of this financial year, 31 March 20x2 it would become. All right. And our opening is 1 April 20x2. Okay. So what happened was that what opening accrued wages of 2000, current year wages which we have paid are 50,000 and closing accrued wages are 3,000. So on this date, we brought forward the wages of 2000. Okay, we have brought forward this wages over here of 2000. So just tell me, does this 2000 relates to current year? Is it anywhere related to current year? I'm asking you, this amount of rupees 2000, is it related to our current year of 20x1 till 20x2, 1 April till 31 March? No, it is not related to the current year because this is accrued expense, which means that it was related to the previous year. In the previous year, we incurred this expense. Okay, just a second. I'll change it. Suppose on this 1 April 20x2, you brought forward this rupees 2000 amount. Okay, but this 2000 is related to this year. Okay, it is related to this year. We have just brought forward it here, okay, because we have not yet paid it. Okay, we will pay it in the current year, which is 1 April 20x2 till 31 March 20x3. We will pay it here, but it is actually related to the previous year. Okay, so whenever we have opening accruals, they are related to the previous year. So in the current year, we will deduct them. Okay, what we will do, we will deduct the opening accruals. Let me correct it over here also. Our current year is 20x2 till 31 March 20x3. Okay, so this 2000 amount is not related to the current year of 1 April 20x2 till 31 March 20x3. It was related to the previous year of 1 April 20x1 till 31 March 20x2. We have just paid it here. Over here, we have just paid it. So what we will do, we will deduct it. We will deduct the opening accruals because they relate to previous year. But now see what is happening. This was opening accruals, so we deducted it. But on 31 March, on this day, we have closing accruals of this 3,000 rupees, 3,000 accruals we have over here. So this accrued expenses relates to this period from 1 April 20x2 till 20x3, 31 March 20x3. This 3,000 relates to this particular year, which is my current year. So I will add this because it is related to my current year. All right. So we will add closing accruals. I hope you have understood the logic. I will write here. The opening accruals relates to previous year. We have brought forward them, but closing accruals relates to the current year. In the current year, my workers have performed, okay, they gave me the services, I have to pay them, okay, at 31 March 20x3, I have to pay them rupees 3,000, but I have not yet paid to them because this relates to current year, so I will add it, okay. But the amount of rupees 2,000 I have brought forward from the previous year, which means that they performed their work in the previous year. Okay, so it should not have effect in my current year. So that's why opening accruals I will deduct. All right. So see, what would be the amount that would go into P&L? It will not be this 50,000. Okay, we will not take 50,000. What we will take, we will add 3,000 to it, which is the closing accruals, and we will deduct 2,000, which are the opening accruals, so that we get the amount of 51,000. All right. The same logic applies to accrued income, prepaid expenses, and prepaid income too, but I will explain you. Give me a second. Okay, let it be like this. Yeah, now see. In case of accrued income, the same logic would be applied. The opening accrued income, opening balance would be related to previous year. So that's why I will deduct it. And the closing balance would be related to my current year. So I will add it. Okay. So remember, for accrued, whether it is income or it is an expense, always add the closing balance and deduct the opening balance. Okay. And you should know the logic also, or you can memorize it, right? But it is better to know the logic. Now see, prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses would work in reverse direction. Okay, it would like we here deducted the opening balance. So in case of prepaid expenses, we will add. Now see, let's take an example to understand it. This is our year 1 April 20x1 till 31 March 20x2. Sorry. On this date 1 April 20x1, I paid suppose an amount of rupees 20,000 which was related to insurance. I paid it for the entire year. Okay. So this is my opening balance of rupees 20,000 and I have paid for the entire year. Okay, from 1 April 20x1 to 31 March 20x2. So I will add this because this is related to my current year. Okay. But now suppose on 31 March 20x2, that is on the closing date, I again paid an amount of rupees 20,000. So this is not at all related to my current year because I have made this payment on the closing date on the on 31 March 20x2, which means that it relates to my next year. It relates to future periods. All right. And in the current year, we will only make those adjustments which are related to the current year. This 20,000 opening balance was related to this year. So that's why I will add it. But the payment which I have made on 31 March 20x2, which is my closing balance, I will deduct it because I have made this expenditure for future years. Although I have paid in the current year, but it relates to future periods. So I will deal with it in the future period only. So in the current year, I will remove its effect. So I will deduct this. Okay. So the reverse working is my opening balance in case of prepaids is added and closing balance, since they relate to next year, they are deducted. Okay. Same will happen in case of prepaid incomes. Okay. Opening balance you will add and closing balance you will deduct. Okay. So if I have to give you a summary, I guess the spellings are wrong. It should be double M, right? Yeah. So the summary is, in case of accruals, what will you do in case opening and closing? Opening would be deducted because they relate to the previous year and closing are added. Okay. And in case of prepayments, whether it is an income or an expense, opening balances are added because they relate to the current year and closing balance are deducted because they relate to the previous. All right. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to look at the questions. Okay. I will pick the questions from various sources and we will see how do we adjust this opening and closing. Till then, you should revise it. Okay. Just memorize it, or in fact, you should know the logic. Why do we add it and why do we subtract it? Okay. If they relate to the current year, add it. If they relate to the next year or the previous year, subtract it. All right. So yeah, that's it for this video. Revise it properly, and still if you have some doubts, you can ask in the comment section. And yeah, also read this notes. You can take the screenshot This was the first one. Second. This was first one, accrued expenses. Then accrued income. Then prepaid expenses. Prepaid income. Then opening and closing adjustment. And then finally, this quick summary table. Okay. You can use these notes or you can make your own notes. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.